today we're back with another tier list. Don't be surprised that this might come out a bit later than usual, mainly because procrastination hits hard sometimes. But hey, it's out now, and I guess that's all that matters. But yeah, today we're going to be ranking every update that was added to Sharkbite 2. Yep, this includes updates and events like the Christmas event, Easter event, Halloween event, etc., And we're going to be ranking them from S tier to D tier, kind of like the other two videos. Now, I do believe this. I think there was 2 other YouTubers that actually did this before me. I mean, there's one YouTuber who actually comments in my comments all the time. I probably need to put a picture up on screen to show you. And then Watermelon Shark, he also did a video similar to this, where he ranks every Sharkbite 2 update on a tier list. I believe it was on his old channel, though. So, technically speaking, it's probably just a bit dated. But yeah, I'm going to be ranking all the updates that you see down here, starting with the RGB toilet. Sorry, I was reading what was shown on the PNGs, mainly because these down here are actually Vova's thumbnails that I'm going to be using to rank every tier list. I'll give credit to him. But yeah, RGB toilets, it's a B tier. Oh crap. Lag. Oh, wait, why is it lagging? What the heck? Wait, what? What's going on? Wait, what? What the? Okay. Oh crap. This is not good. B tier. The RGB toilet is a B tier. I'm thinking about getting them. They might be expensive, cost the same amount as a cruise ship and a Titanic. I'm probably gonna get some once I hit 1 million shark teeth, though. But speaking of cruise ship, we got cruise ship. Cruise ship's an A tier. I actually like the cruise ship. It's actually a pretty fun boat. I used to believe that the Titanic's better than the cruise ship. I changed my mind. I think cruise ship's better because it has more features to make it fun, while the Titanic is just the Titanic. And heck, it's like, my main problem with the Titanic, yes, it's an on-sale boat, and it's going to forever be an on-sale boat. The Olympic and Britannic are just way better. So what's the point of the Titanic? I guess just to be an on-sale boat. Yep. Also, Titanic's a bit overrated. So, Titanic and Britannic, I'm gonna have to put it in A tier as well, mainly because this is counting both the Titanic and Britannic. If it was Titanic, then it would go in B tier. If it was Britannic, then it would go in A tier. But I'm kind of forced to put both of them together in A tier. Shark skins. It's also an A tier for me. I do really like the different kinds of shark skins, even though some of them might not look that good. Hover bike. To be honest, just like the entirety of the Nimona event, it goes into D tier. I just don't like the Nimona event. I don't know if I believe nobody really likes the Nimona event. I just don't like it. Megalodon. Well, despite the many problems it has, the shark itself looks pretty cool, so I'll put it in A. Polar railgun turret. If I owned this, it'd probably be in the B tier. It does look cool, but I heard some other YouTubers say that it aged kinda poorly, so I might put it in C. Easter update. Oh, and this is the first Easter update, the 2022 Easter update, I believe. Hopefully I'm not wrong. Because if I'm wrong, I'm probably gonna embarrass myself. I'd say it's a solid B tier. Actually, yeah, it's a B tier. Then the submarines, the first two submarines added to Sharkbite 2, which is the Duck Marine and Military Submarine. I'm gonna be honest, it also has to go in C tier. I like the Duck Marine, but the Military Submarine, which I'm betting was the main attraction for this update, is just one of those submarines that just didn't age very well. It's another thing that didn't age very well so far. The Duck Marine's okay, at least, but the Military Submarine, despite it being the largest submarine in the game, it hadn't done very well in terms of the current game, I guess, current updates. Then the plasma turrets. I actually really like the plasma turret. It's gonna go in B tier though, mainly because, well, actually wait, this update included the plasma turret and all the boat builder stuff, didn't it? Wait, or was that the RGB turret? No, this wasn't the RGB toilet and all the boat builder stuff in the same update, and the plasma turret was a part 2? Either way, it's going in B tier. Wildfire, it's an A tier. I again really like its looks. It's actually probably one of the best looking boats in Sharkbite 2, if I have to be honest. Then we got the I believe it was the January 5th update, which was also the first update to be added to Sharkbite 2, like first actual update. And funnily enough, fun fact, this is actually the last update to actually include a gun that wasn't added because of a certain event. No, like seriously, this update, which was the first update to be added to Sharkbite 2, was also the last update where they added a gun that wasn't for an event. That wasn't an event gun, or just had an excuse to be added because of an event. Oh crap! It's gonna have to. It's actually a pretty mid update. Actually, no way. It's going in C, mainly because I never used a combat boat. The tour boat, it's actually alright. It's pretty fun. The paintball gun, it's also an alright gun, but the bull shark, it's terrible. Somehow the great white, despite it being a free shark, is better than the bull shark. Party boats. Actually, this is actually a S tier update. I actually really like the party boat. Yes, the cruise ship included the... Actually, you know what? Now that I realize it... Oh, crap. I'm gonna move the cruise ship update to S tier with the party boat. They both belong in the same tier because, yeah, the cruise ship has the back of the ship, which includes the stuff that the party boat has, and it's just fun. The games events, it's an A tier for me. I don't know if others found it that fun. I believe other people found this update to be pretty fun. I just like it because the game's Galleon, to be honest. It's a really cool looking boat to me. Viper speedboats, gonna be honest, it's a pretty boring update and forgettable. It's going in D tier, not gonna lie. Ah, crap. Coast Guard boats. I actually like this a bit more than the Viper speedboat. It's actually going into B tier, mainly because it's just a really fun boat to drive, and probably just like the Wildfire, it's actually one of the best looking boats in the game in terms of, well, looks. I mean, what else can I say? Christmas 2022. This has to go in... Also, it goes in A tier. It goes in A tier because the stuff that this update had, despite it, many people probably saying it's the worst Christmas update of the bunch, the one that really holds this up for me is the gingerbread steamboat. I really like the looks of the gingerbread steamboat. It's fun. It's also a pretty fun boat to drive. I might not drive it as much now, but it's still a pretty good update nonetheless. Then the hydro tank and pyro tank, including the hydro turret. update. It's another A tier. What can I say? It's another A tier. I also like this update. I like both the hydro tank and the pyro tank. They both look cool aesthetically wise. They both have their looks, and they both function pretty well. Then there's the RGB skins update, which this also added the magic wand boat. It's B tier. It's a B tier update. It's not bad. It's all right. I like the RGB skins, and I also like the magic wand boat, so it's a B tier for me. Then the anniversary shark update. It's a C tier. It's a high C tier. I hadn't actually been using the tiers to rank certain updates better than others in their respective tier. But it's good. I like the anniversary shark, and I also think the candle you get from it from redeeming the code was also pretty nice. The UFO. Honestly, I might have to be honest here. The UFO, it really triggers my autistic senses, right? I'm gonna be honest. Whenever I use this, especially in the trade hub, I always just imagine things, like just have a load of fun with it. So it's an A tier. Halloween updates. It's honestly also an A tier. I might be using the A tier a whole lot, but a lot of these updates are pretty solid updates, not gonna lie. But yeah, the Halloween update's an A tier because Goblin Shark, you might think I say it looks ugly, but it looks ugly, but in like Vova said, it looks ugly but beautiful. Trading update. Oh, this update has to be an S tier because it's what added free roam in the trade hub. I had never stopped messing with free roam. I always had fun, like messing around in free roam. It has to be an S tier, despite what others say about it, the trading gimmick being a bit obnoxious and what led to a ton of off-sale boats to be added in future updates, which, let's be honest, I might not be as happy about that, mainly because why did we get so much more off-sale boats added last year, but we didn't get as many on-sale boats? Yeah, but other than that, it's an S tier, mainly because of free roam. Free roam, I must say, leads this update heavily for me. Also because it's what allowed me to get the rest of the off-sale boats that I didn't own at the time. And I'm glad because this update is what allowed me to get the hydro tank, the red snowmobile, the golden ducky. Is that it? I believe that's it. Yeah, and if it wasn't for this update, I'd probably never have a full inventory, not gonna lie. Easter update. This is the second Easter update. It's actually an S tier, I'm gonna be honest. It's an S tier update. I like the accelerator. I might said last time it's a bit forgettable, but this update here added the egg splatter, the most overpowered gun in the game. Paired with the Olympic, you're basically cheating. I'm gonna be honest. It's basically cheating if you pair both the egg splatter lock on with the Olympic. And then you can grind the hell out of the egg splatter. I'm just gonna be honest. That's why it's an S tier. Yes, I'm trying to figure out better ways of grinding that doesn't include me cheating, but I'm too lazy to do so. So yeah, Valentine's update. It's a B tier. I like the hover heart, and I like the skin for the boat builder boats. It looks very premium, not gonna lie. Sea Breacher, S tier, because yeah, Sea Breacher. It's pretty good at killing the shark. Not gonna lie. And then crap, not the broomstick. The Marlin GT update, along with the boat radio. Now, hear me out. Was it a smart idea of the developers to make it where you had to rebuy the radio? Unlike where if you bought the oxygen tank and flare gun in Sharkbite 1, you could get them for free in Sharkbite 2, but when it came to the radio, you had to rebuy it. Maybe not the best decision, but honestly, I'm kind of glad they did so, because for some reason my quick brain, when this update came out, immediately went over to the shop and bought the radio instantly without thinking twice, believing... I guess if they did made it free in Sharkbite 2, a UI would have popped up telling you that since you purchased this item in Sharkbite 1, you could get it for free in Sharkbite 2. But the Marlin GT is a cool boat, but compared to these other updates, it's a B tier, and I'm lucky that somebody gave away the exclusive code for free, because I probably wouldn't have gotten the Marlin GT.
What you doing, boy?
Making a video. Okay. Broomstick. The Broomstick, which is the same update that added the cursed crossbow. I also really like the design of the Broomstick. I do not really, per se, like the cursed crossbow that much, mainly because I never used it, and I thought it's just another gun in the game. I just bought it because I just had the money to. It's a B tier as well, not C. B tier. Then the second Sharkbite 2 Christmas. Yeah, this actually has to go up in S tier. RGB turret sleigh, goated. The only thing I wish they brought back with the bringing back the RGB turret sleigh was the lightning strike that happened when you used it in Sharkbite 1. Because in Sharkbite 1, dang it, if you use RGB turret sleigh during a round in Sharkbite 1, every now and then there would be a lightning strike that would strike down onto the sleigh, and I just thought that looked really cool. I'm kind of sad that doesn't happen in Sharkbite 2, although now they kind of de-promoted the lightning strike to be a badge. I do not know if that's much of a de-promotion, because now in Sharkbite 2, I guess the lightning strike got rebranded to something that can damage boats instead, which I guess makes sense. And that's only for the Halloween updates, by the way. Well, if it was for the RGB turret sleigh, it would happen all year round. Anyways, why am I ranting on this long about lightning strikes? Let's just get to the next update, which is stealth boats. It's an A tier update. I'm just gonna be honest, I never used a stealth boat much in Sharkbite 1. I thought it was cool that they brought it back in Sharkbite 2. It looks cool. Although my only problem was that the interior looked much better in Sharkbite 1 than it did in Sharkbite 2. I just didn't like the gilded lights as much in the stealth boat in Sharkbite 2 compared to the little floor and ceiling lights that are white but also make like a red. Each one would turn red one after the other one going in. I thought that felt more grand when entering compared to just gilded lights on the frame. The Mosasaurus update. It's an S tier, I guess. I mean, at least when using the Mosasaurus, it's much easier to kill people than the Megalodon. Also, it added shark abilities, which gave people who were the shark a more fighting chance against boats. Although my only problems with the abilities is the fact that why do the more expensive abilities somehow perform worse than the cheap ones? Why are the cheaper abilities better than the more expensive ones? Like, Black Hole, it looks cool, it sounds cool, but Shield, it's cheaper, nullifies much more damage. Like, if you try to bring up something in an argument when it comes to the abilities, the shield is always better than the rest because it's the only one that nullifies damage completely for a couple seconds. It's the best ability, and some people might say that Ghost is also really good, and I don't blame them. But again, that's another pretty cheap ability you can get. Meanwhile, the more expensive abilities like Clone, Double Clone, Shout, or Black Hole, Clone, what that does is it just creates a clone. And once people realize that they're shooting at the wrong clone, they'll just shoot at the other. Or more so, if the clone doesn't just take the bullets for you, then it's just gonna pass through the clone, making its way to your shark. And, like, I feel like it would have been better if Clone and Double Clone, what it did is that it fooled the survivor. If you were shooting at the fake clone, then it would, on the survivor's POV, your clone would take the bullets, but also for the survivor, they think that they're getting EXP for shooting the actual shark until they realize that it's not actually giving them XP and they're shooting a clone. But then again, what's the point of that when they would just look up at the health bar and realize that it's not going down? It's only until then they'll realize that they're not even shooting the actual shark at all. They're shooting the clone, and next thing you know, they're going to start shooting who's actually the shark. And then Shout is actually straight up useless. I mean, it's pretty fun, but why would you want to shoot a boat away when you're supposed to kill the survivors in the round? What it does is that it shoots boats across the map, but that doesn't help you at all because you're supposed to kill those survivors. You're not supposed to shoot them across the map. Now that I realize the amount of problems this update kind of had, I think I might have to bring it down to A tier. Mainly because of the problems where the more expensive abilities somehow are worse than the more cheaper ones. I feel like what the developers should have done is that they should have buffed the more expensive abilities to make them feel like I don't know. They just should have, I guess, put more time into this update, making sure the abilities are actually good, I guess, like the expensive ones. Instead, it led to the cheaper ones somehow outperforming the more expensive ones. Anyways, Valentine's Update 2. This one, it's also gonna go in A tier, but for different reasons. When I said in the first Valentine's update, I like the hover heart, but I also like the skin for it feeling more premium. But this time I got a bit of an opposite feeling. Instead, I kind of like the swan boat more, but the skin doesn't look as premium. Not gonna lie. Like, for the first Valentine's update, I would have said I like the skin more, but for this one, I like the boat more, so yeah. That's a bit of a switch up. Daily rewards update. Okay, you may call me a bit biased on this one, but it's S tier, mainly because I have heavy nostalgia for the submarine, the submersible. You can call me out on that for having bias, but I really missed the submersible, and I was glad they finally brought it back despite it being an awful boat. For some reason I had heavy nostalgia for it. which is funny because the submersible in Sharkbite 2 and in Sharkbite 1 is probably one of the worst boats you could get. But yet I still have nostalgia for this thing. So it's going in S. You can fight me. You can fight me all you want, but I'm just speaking for myself, okay? It deserves S tier, okay? Okay. Anyways, new maps. It's A tier. Okay, let me explain myself why it's A tier. Some of the map selection itself, I know that we waited for a year for this, but the map selection itself, some of them are good, but others are just awful. Ocean map, for example. Why? Why does that exist? It feels like a map that would have been added during some sort of prototype stage or something. It feels like something that they forgot to remove. I'm just gonna be honest. Like, it doesn't deserve to be in the game. But also, why did we only get 6 maps after waiting an entire year? Also, again, some of the quality of these maps, like Watermelon Shark said, some of the quality ain't even that good compared to the regular game's map. I mean, the only one map out of all of them that actually feels like that had a ton of effort put into it, the most effort, would have to be the Retro Wave map. You can tell by looking at it that it had the most love poured into it, sorry. But the ocean map, no, I do not even want to speak of its existence right now. The Japan map, it looks cool, but it also feels unfinished. The Egypt map, it's alright. It's, honestly, I'd say it's better than Japan, despite some people may disagree with me on that. That's mainly because I feel like Egypt's a bit more finished than Japan. Classic map, it's alright. It's different. It's different from the regular maps. I played Sharkbite 1 since 2018. Yes, I might have not joined during 2017, which was like the old Sharkbite 1, which was like when it was still in its beta phase, but I hadn't stopped playing since 2018. Sharkbite was basically my entire childhood. I'm gonna be honest. I had never stopped. And I'm planning to never stop soon, anytime soon. I'm gonna continue playing Sharkbite for as long as it exists, I guess. But yeah, yes, the Sharkbite 1 map is also good, although the seafloor doesn't feel... I feel like that they should have changed the seafloor entirely for Sharkbite 1 map to be more like the, well, actual Sharkbite 1 map, you know? Because in Sharkbite 1, the seafloor had all these Easter eggs. Although, one positive change I'll give about this map is that I do like the different atmosphere and lighting system for it. I find the new atmosphere for it to be a bit more cozy, not gonna lie. In Sharkbite 1, it felt the lighting engine was a bit different, having the more old classic Roblox lighting, but for Sharkbite 2, I do not really mind the lighting at all. Yes, it might not be accurate to the first game, but it's good nonetheless. It feels a bit more cozy than the HMT Olympic. Yeah, sorry, I just had to check if that was correct. It's S tier for me. Come on. It's S tier. Despite my critics about the Titanic and Britannic, the HMT Olympic is S tier because it's just better than both the Titanic and Britannic, and almost, I'd say, just as good as a cruise ship. So it deserves S tier placement. Then the SWAT boat and SAS boat update. I would say just like the daily rewards update, it would have some nostalgia bias holding it up. But for me, personally, I kind of like the SWAT boat, nonetheless, but I feel like my nostalgia bias didn't really hold it up as well. But either way, it's an A tier update. Then the Easter events 2020, I believe 2025, yeah, 5. It's A tier, just above the first Easter event, but just below the second, mainly because I guess it's better than the first one since it still has the content in it. It has pretty good boats, but compared to the second Easter update, it's not as good as that, especially since it feels like everything in this update felt a bit more rushed, to be honest. So yeah, it's gonna go in A tier. Then the third Christmas update, it's actually gonna go in S tier. Wait, where did I put the second Christmas update at? Was it up? Yeah, it's also going up in S tier with the second Christmas update. I actually also really like this update as well, mainly for the Ferris wheel boats. Last Christmas update, I said I liked it for its RGB turret sleigh, but for this one, I like it for its Ferris wheel boat because I just find the Ferris wheel boat to be really cool and pretty fun to ride. Crap! I hope nobody takes that out of context. And then the Arctic assault boat, meh. It's meh, you know. It's no RGB turret sleigh is what I'm trying to say. Because at least what the RGB turret sleigh did, it looks cool, it has a turret, it might not do as much damage, but at least it rewarded you with a badge. While the Arctic assault boat, I guess it does more damage, and it might be a little bit bigger, maybe, I guess just as fast, which is at least something's going for it, but it just doesn't feel, it doesn't look as cool as the RGB turret sleigh, and also, it doesn't even reward you with a badge, and the RGB turret sleigh's horn is way better. It bops. It has like a bop to it, while the Arctic assault boat just has that loud to it. If that was an accurate mimic of the horn. And then finally, new game modes. It's an S tier update. Yeah, it's the newest update added, and despite that, it's an S tier because the new game modes are fun. All of them. I like Chest Chase, Double Sharks. I do not know why they added that back. I mean, I guess it would make sense since it was in Sharkbite 1, and anything that's in Sharkbite 1 is gonna get added to Sharkbite 2 at some time, actually. But when I think of Double Sharks, I don't know why that would get added, mainly because isn't Infection just essentially the same thing, just better and more chaotic? That's my question. Yeah, that's just my reason why I don't know why. I wonder why Double Sharks got re-added. But Chest Chase is actually really surprising. I never would have expected it to give you 1,000 shark teeth out of a chest, which is why I really like it. Boat Roulette, I like it, but I might have my first video, I said that it was second place because it has a ton of replayability, but I think I might actually consider knocking that down a bit, mainly because every server you join, whenever a bonus round appears, everyone, and I mean everyone, everyone in that server is going to pick Boat Roulette. It annoys me, and I think that's only because those people specifically do not own any, I guess, good boats, and they feel like if they choose Boat Roulette, they're gonna get a much better boat than they have, which I guess makes sense on their side. But the problem is, whenever a Boat Roulette happens, there's always gonna be a chest chase. And since everyone's gonna go choose the boat roulette. The chest chase is just not gonna happen. Like, I want 1,000 shark teeth. I mean, you could say that I do not need any more shark teeth because I kinda have 850,000 shark teeth. What am I doing with my life? But I don't know. I'm trying to get to 1,000,000 shark teeth. Okay, once I do, I'm gonna I guess take a long break. But yeah, either way, it's an S tier update because of the game modes are still pretty fun. Shark Royale is actually very fun, in all honesty. It's probably one of the most fun game modes added into the game because what it does is that it basically changes the game entirely. It's one of those game modes that changes the game, for a good side, you know, because it's basically like the storm from Fortnite. It has this shield or barrier going across around the map, and it basically isolates you more and more before you're in the same area as a shark and have to try to kill the shark before it kills you, I guess. It's one of those game modes that completely changes the game, okay? Completely change how the game is meant to be played, and I like that. I like how it changes how the game is supposed to be played. I wish we had more game modes like that. I want to see different ways the game can be played because I really liked the execution they did with Shark Royale because it took what we had but made things more interesting. It's not always going to be the same boring rounds you're going to get used to eventually. No, this one actually changes the game up, which is good. And I want to see more game modes like that, which is why didn't they add the volcano game mode? I wanted to see a volcano blast its debris up into the air and completely burn the world around me. Okay, I might be sounding like a madman, but that's what I wanted to see. I want to see a giant volcano emerge from the seafloor, sprouting up into its own island, and go destroying everything like a mini nuke. Anyways, that's the tier list. I might have gotten a bit carried away at the end, but yeah, that's about it. Anyways, I'm gonna try to label some shoutouts in the description. I'm gonna have to shout out Vova because I kind of used his thumbnails to represent each update. And then I'll also shout out the other people who also did like videos like this right here, where they compiled a tier list and ranked every update, because I know one of my subscribers did. It's the one that's usually in the comment section. He or she, I do not want to assume anyone's gender because I feel like that might get me into trouble because if I assume gender wrong. But yeah, I'll make sure to link a shout out to them because they also did a tier list like I did. And I also will be shouting out King Watermelon Shark because I also know he did a tier list like I did. I believe it was on his old channel though, if I'm mistaken though. But he'll still get a shout out either way. And yeah, I guess that's it. See y'all later. Bye.